It's Alan Pennington back again, the author of the Customer Experience book and the Deputy Chairman of Suitecx. I'm here today just to talk to you about what I call expectation versus reality. It's a critical part of thinking about your experience and in fact improving it. So we can imagine a situation where you have done a great workshop. You've created an experience, an outside-in view, and you've loaded that experience potentially into the Suitecx software. So you've got a great way of visualizing what you believe to be the experience that you're delivering today. Particularly relevant to this is where you are outsourcing particular parts of your experience. Lots of firms do it these days, particularly contact, and we hand that piece of our experience over to the third party. We sign an agreement, typically a service level, an SLA, that will have a number of key factors in it that you will measure and monitor that will tell you, is this third party delivering or not? Unfortunately, what happens in most of these SLAs is that they tend to be quantified, but not qualitatively measured, which means that, yes, you can have a whole series of green lights about the service, the call time answer, the length of call, etc., but you don't really get an insight into, is this really delivering the experience that we require as a business, because we just outsourced not a service, but an experience. So that's where the experience reality check comes in. Now, it surprises me, and I'm not sure why it does, the number of businesses that I go into and I talk to who actually don't have any active internal test of their experience. So they just assume these things are happening, and when they're not, they're invisible. They don't know. So once you've got the map, either we can do this for you through some form of very, very straightforward and simple mystery shopping, or you can do it yourself. You need to check some of the basics are happening. I had one fairly recently where a phone number was available. We sent out an email as a third party. The email had a phone number at the end of it for individuals to contact if they had an issue. So my first port of call was, of course, to call the number. No surprise, it was actually a deadline. So I got that, that was it. So not a great experience. And if I tried to call that number, I'd probably be leaving the supplier fairly shortly afterwards. So the ability to actually understand what's really happening in your business relies on you sometimes just taking a moment to check. Is something that we think is happening really happening? And if it isn't, what do we do about it? Well, journey mapping gives you a really good insight into where those situations might arise, because you're getting a view of the outside in, and you've recorded that into the software and you've created that journey map, and it will throw up instances where your experience may be not the reality for your end customer. So my recommendation to you in this short video is take a moment, find some numbers, check some email content, see what is actually going out to your customers, and check whether or not that actually matches with the reality of the experience that you are expecting to deliver to your customers. Because the danger is, if you have that kind of gap, you don't resolve it, your customers leave, you have no idea why, and you've got green lights all over your dashboard as far as your SLA is concerned, whether that's an internal or an external supplier. So it's a really important thing to do. Do the basics, get that right, and you're going to improve your experience. Look forward to talking to you soon with the next little update, and look out for some inputs into the Suitecx website, where we'll be talking a little bit about experience to reality gaps in the real world. Thank you for listening, and talk to you again soon. Goodbye.